Hi everyone, this is Bob Davie with San Diego Residential Property Management coming to you live from the world headquarters of San Diego Residential. Well, actually, no, it's not the headquarters of San Diego Residential, it's my den here at home. And like you, I'm at a stay-at-home mandate and have been working remotely for several weeks, and so I'm at home. But I did want to reach out to you utilizing this technology and say hello and hope that you and your family are doing well during the midst of this pandemic and the government shutdown. And also, like you, I'm very much looking forward to all of us being able to return to a sense of normalcy. But I wanted to share with you this video email. I think it's a great use of technology. I think it's very personalized and a little unique. But the reason I've prepared this and sending it to you is because over the last several weeks, I've taken a number of phone calls, text messages, and emails from clients of mine that have some questions. And they have questions about their rental property, they have questions about their tenants, they have questions about just a number of different things. But there seemed to be a common thread, if you will, amongst a lot of these conversations that I've been having. So I thought it would be a very appropriate thing to prepare this presentation and get it out to all of my clients because of that common thread. And the common thread really is, what are we going to do in the month of May? How do we address the May 1 rental due date and so forth? And so I hope that you appreciate this opportunity for us to get together, but wanted to give you an explanation as to why I've prepared this and what this is all about. I have prepared a little bit of a presentation that I will go to right now. So the question really, of course, comes down to what now and what next with regard to COVID-19. And as far as what now is concerned, like you, I don't have a crystal ball. We do know this. We do know that this situation is constantly changing, literally daily. We don't know, at least here in the state of California, we're looking at probably around the 15th of May-ish before the state of California is in any position to kind of return a little bit of normalcy back to us business owners and the general public. That date, even in and of itself, is very fluid. So there are no guarantees, but I think most people are thinking around the 15th of May, things should be lifted. We should be able to return a little bit more to a sense of normalcy. As far as what next is concerned, well, as far as I'm concerned, what next is May 1. May 1 is rental due date. And I will let you know that I'm very excited, as a matter of fact, to share that 100% of our tenants within our portfolio of homes paid as agreed for the month of April. Absolutely unheard of. I don't know if you know this or not, but because of my involvement in several different national organizations, I know a lot of people all over the country that do what I do for a living in regard to real estate and property management. And they did not fare in many other places of the country very well at all. I think on average they experience at a low, maybe 4% to as much as 8% delinquency, non-payment, or partial payment of rent situations. We did not. We had 100% of our tenants within our entire portfolio pay as agreed, and that's obviously very good news. However, I don't know that that's going to be the way that it's going to happen on May 1 rental due date. So again, that's the purpose of this video. One of the questions that come up is, of course, well, what can I do to prepare? Well, this is my answer to that question. With so much uncertainty that we're dealing with within our environment today, at least for the next 30, 60, 90 days, my recommendation is for each and every one of my clients, if you've not already done this, and if you do have a mortgage on your rental property, I am recommending that you contact your mortgage holder and ask them, in essence, what are my options? In the event that my tenant doesn't pay rent, what are my options with regard to the mortgage that I have on my rental property? And that's a very valid question. Now, I'm not recommending today that you pull the trigger necessarily on any one of those options because, of course, we have no idea sitting here today on the 23rd of April as to what to expect a week from now. However, I think it is a good idea to reach out to your mortgage holder sooner rather than later. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to go on a fact-finding mission. You're going to try to find out from your mortgage holder exactly what are your options, again, in the event that you are dependent upon that tenant paying their rent for you to then pay your mortgage payment. Because of a lot of the conversations I've had with colleagues of mine all over the country, specifically over the last couple of weeks, one of the things that I've determined is that a lot of national and regional banks are indeed offering short-term relief programs. And there's a bunch of different types of options that might be available. And I've got them listed here, and I'll go over them very briefly. Although it's rare, there are banks that are offering a very short-term, like 1 month mortgage forgiveness. And that is exactly what it sounds like. That's basically poof, the mortgage is no longer due for that 1 month period of time. It's as if it never existed. Again, that's very rare, but it is something to at least have in your hip pocket to ask your mortgage holder about. Extending of the mortgage grace period is another example of something that might be on the table by your mortgage holder. What that means is, let's say, for example, your mortgage is due on the 15th of the month, and it's usually considered late if it's not received by, say, the 30th of the month. Well, extension of that grace period, again, is exactly that. It just is extending that period of time out before the mortgage is actually becoming due. I've heard some mortgage holders actually extending the grace period as much as 60 days. Again, I'm not suggesting that that's what your mortgage holder will do. I just am saying that's what I've heard some people are experiencing. But I do think it's a valid question to ask your mortgage holder, is to say, would you consider an extension of my grace period by weeks or months or whatever you can negotiate? The third area is probably the most common area that we hear a lot about, and that's called mortgage forbearance. And another term for mortgage forbearance is mortgage deferral. And in essence, what that does is it's taking this 30-day period of time that you owe your mortgage payment on your rental property, and it's picking it up and it's moving that 30-day period of time to the very end of your mortgage period. So for example, let's say you had 20 months remaining on the payment mortgage payment program with your mortgage holder before it's completely satisfied. In a mortgage forbearance situation, you're picking up the month of May and you're moving the month of May 2020 to the very end of that 20-month period of time. So now you no longer have 20 months until it's paid off, it's 21 months until it's paid off. You can negotiate with your mortgage holder for a 30-day forbearance, 60-day forbearance, 90-day forbearance, whatever you can work out, whatever transaction you can work out with your mortgage holder that you believe to be in your best interest is certainly advisable. The one caveat that's with that, however, is one of the things that I've heard is that there is an issue with forbearance when it comes to the interest involved in your mortgage payment. And it goes something like this. They are very happy to pick up and forbear or move your principal amount from the month of May 2020 to the end of whatever your mortgage period is. However, there might be an issue with moving the interest expense as well. So that's something that you want to find out from your mortgage holder as to exactly what are the terms, exactly how does that forbearance or that deferment period of time work between you and your mortgage holder. And then the fourth and final area that I've heard a lot about is actually the arrangement of some sort of partial payment program. An example of that might be, let's say that you owe $3,000 per month on your mortgage payment under normal circumstances. Maybe you can work out some sort of a partial payment program with your mortgage holder that says, I'm going to pay you 50% of my mortgage payment for the month of May, June, and July, with the understanding that the balance of that 50% will be due and payable no later than, I don't know, December 31st of 2021, or something like that. Whatever, again, you can negotiate with your mortgage holder that you believe to be in your best interest. I think the takeaway from this really, though, is to not delay. Don't delay in making that phone call. And this is why. If things really do get tough during the month of May or the month of June or the month of July, I think it would be advantageous to you to actually know what your options are in advance rather than waiting until May 7th to find it out, because you're going to be competing for that mortgage holder's telephone and their time along with 2 or 3 million other people, all simultaneously, and you'll never get through to them. So it might be something that you want to be able to get a hold of them now to find out, again, specifically what your options are. I do not recommend at this point in time you actually implementing any of those plans. Let's wait and find out specifically what happens in the month of May. And then our plan from San Diego Residential's point of view is on a case-by-case basis. If there is an issue, we will be reaching out to you as the property owner, of course, and we'll be talking with you about what we believe the options to be from a residential property management point of view, and we can work out a strategy and a game plan just between us moving forward. But we will be contacting you as quickly as we possibly can in the event that we have any indication that there's an issue. Okay. At the lower right-hand portion of your screen, there are some websites that I have recommended that you consider going to. The top two are from the California Association of Realtors, have a lot of great information about specific rental property and landlord questions that are kind of pre-addressed, if you will, or frequently asked questions that you can take advantage of. The third one is from the state of California that has some specific guidelines or guidance when it comes to evictions. Now, I don't want to go down that road right now. It's a little premature to even be considering that, but I'm putting this on this little video email so that you have some ideas on, at least in your own mind, in the event that we needed to go down that path, exactly what are my options with regard to eviction or terminations of tenancies and things of that nature. And then the fourth email or fourth website is from the County of San Diego that has some fantastic information available to you about the response, if you will, from a governmental point of view. So I hope this has been helpful to you. If you do have additional questions, comments, concerns, I've got my phone number and my email address listed there on the screen. Certainly, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me. That's what we're here to do, is to try to get through all this together. I really, truly do believe that we're in this together. And it's because of the fact that we're in this together that we're going to prevail through this together. And I think open communication and candidacy and just having a lot of good full disclosure, if you will, on information is a vitally important part of this period of time. And that's what I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that happens. Now, in closing, I'll let you know this. I do intend on publishing another video email sometime likely next week, which will be more of a legal update. I've invited my own attorney friend, my business attorney, Jim Roth, to get on a little bit of a Q&A situation that of some questions that I'm going to be asking him, and we'll be emailing his responses to these questions in a video email format out to you, again, likely sometime next week. So please be looking for that, and looking forward to getting that. And in the meantime, again, reach out to me if needed. Hope you're safe. Hope you and your family are doing well, and we'll get through this together. I'm confident of that. All right, take care, you guys.